Hello folks, haven't done one of these in excuse me, a little bit. Streetcorner's Carspotting once again. I haven't had some phone issues there with my old phone. Starting off strong, there's a Lincoln LS there, the kind of forgotten rear wheel, one of the last rear wheel drive Lincolns there, kind of their little attempt in the mid 2000s to try to go after the Germans and kind of failed. They didn't stick with it like Cadillac did with the CTS and ATS and all that. So the LSs are actually, I think, gotten kind of cool. Yeah, I think they're really, really underrated for what they are. And it was just a shame that Lincoln didn't stick with that and kind of languished for another 15 years. Just now starting to get decent again. There's a nice old Corolla right there. Old man in a Corolla. But yeah, let's hit pause. I'm once again at the corner of Northside and Taylorsville and Statesville. So let's I've already seen a couple neat cars like the, oh my god, I'm at Burger King again. I hadn't had Burger King in about a month and I am feeling it right now. So anyways, let's hit pause and let's wait for something cool to come up. See, over by the McDonald's, looks like an older late 90s Cadillac. And my phone's not gonna focus on it. There it goes. Looks like a 2-door, possibly. Maybe a 4-door, but let's see. Green light goes. See if it's an ETC. Yep, it's an ETC. One of the last Eldorados there with a giant C-pillar. Don't see too many of those nowadays. It's already kind of a couple of some American luxury cars from the late 90s, early 2000s. Kind of sit here for a second. Late 90s Ford F-150 across the street. Nothing too nuts. Ooh, excuse me. Burp. I'm full of burps today. Jeep Wrangler TJ. And let's sit and wait. As you can tell, there's a vehicle rendezvous across the street. It's someone that works there. So I'm sure it's appeared in another one of these street corner Carspotting videos. Nice 90, or not really nice there. It's a little beat up there, but 90s Nissan Maxima. Unpausing real quick, and there's a second generation Chevy S10 with great big rims on it. Just take it all in. Definitely goofy. Nothing else pulling up too nuts so far, so let's hit pause again. On pause, got some stuff coming from across the street. A Chevrolet Avalanche and a C6 Corvette convertible. So a couple of very different, old lady driving the Corvette too. A couple of very different vehicles, and ooh, a nice Nissan hardbody in that lovely 90s Nissan green, and that thing's a stick, as you can see him roll back as he hit the brakes there, or as he came up to the stop sign there, so that's pretty cool. An Infiniti G series, and nothing too nuts pulling up. So anyways, and also like a first generation 2-wheel drive Toyota Tacoma behind it too, so a couple neat little mini trucks there, late 90s, mid to late 90s mini trucks, both with stripes, the 90s stripes down the sides. Two-tone Ford Explorer, short box Dodge Ram, a newer heavy-duty Chevy with stripes down the side. Looks like a Honda Accord across the street. Let's go ahead and hit pause and wait for everything building. Ford Taurus. Let's hit pause again. Now going closest to me, it's got a nice color on that Tacoma, but I think it's a Crown Victoria. I can't quite tell, and I'm not the best at spotting those things from the back, but I think it's a mid-90s Crown Victoria, or a Lincoln, I don't know. But something's sorting. And maybe it is a Lincoln. I don't know. I'm not that best with the F-bodies. GMC Envoy XL, which is the long wheelbase one. Nothing else too nuts right now. Almost let it go, but going across the street is a Pontiac Torrent, the forgotten rebadged Chevrolet Equinox as a Pontiac. One of the reasons why Pontiac went out of business, because even though we got the G8 and the GTO and the Pontiac G6 GT, which I'm gonna make a lot of people angry by saying I actually kind of like the two-door. I like this, the G6 and the two-door G6s, even the convertible. You also had products like the Pontiac Torrent, which is just, it was the same thing as the Chevy Equinox and offered no real difference, unlike the Pontiac G6, which actually had its own unique body on it compared to the Chevrolet Malibu. So I know a lot of people, oh, it's just a rebadged Malibu, but no, there's more to a G6 than the, it's more than a rebadge. Evoque with rims. Another little mini truck across the street. Looks like a Mazda B series coming across the street. Kind of this light tan color. Got an old man car coming up right here. Flat tire, kind of flat tires. This thing's beat. Look at that. Mercury Sable. Bubble body Sable. Ugh, that thing's had a hard life. But yeah. Some interesting spots here in Statesville today. Nothing too crazy. Just some interesting 90s and 2000s cars so far. And Suburban with rims. Gonna hit pause another time and give it a wait. Second generation Grand Caravan with the color matched grill on it, so that was pretty neat. Getting those early Caravans and Voyagers and Town and Countries are really starting to get hard to find now. Those things were everywhere up until about a decade ago too, so just starting to show their age. Just minivans were typically had the crap, ever-living crap beat out of them, so they typically don't hold up as well, just because they've all had hard lives. They're just toting kids around. Usually, ooh, look at that 300ZX. Look at that thing. It's just a wedge shape, and ooh, a nice old Dodge. I think this truck's been on this show before. Nice eggshell blue. Well, it's got some rough patches on it there, but the Dodges aren't as ubiquitous. Oh my god, I'm tripping over words. Ubiquitous as the Chevys and Fords, so I kind of like seeing the old the W and D series Dodges. But that Nissan 300ZX, definitely the best spot so far today on this show. Just, I don't think those sold nearly as well as the 240s. I think they kind of ran into a problem like I think the 4th gen Supers there, where they were just overpriced, over-engineered, and were overpriced for the time. But I think they're really starting to go up in value. But man, that wedge shape is just hits all the right spots. 90s, like just peak 90s bubble economy Japanese sports car right there. Kind of waiting. Looks like a 3rd gen Escalade. Nothing too crazy. I'm probably gonna go for a couple minutes longer and call it a day. Coming across the street, Kia Borrego, the forgotten large Kia SUV. Just introduced at absolutely the wrong time. They only sold them for like a year and a half here in the States there, and they continued to sell them in Korea. But yeah, I see a surprisingly large amount around the Charlotte, North Carolina area, despite them not really selling that many of them to begin with, because they introduced them right in the middle of the recession there, where large SUVs just took an absolute nosedive, and took them, after a few years, people went back to buying large SUVs. But yeah, just the right SUV for the wrong time. And like, it's taken us until last year to finally get the Kia Telluride, which is their return to a 3rd row or a large above Sorrento crossover. So, yes. I'm probably gonna call that a day. So it looks like a Subaru Crosstrek across the street in funky color, and there's a kid in a three-door Golf that went through the stop line. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it a day. Nice old CK Chevy truck across the street. I gotta get going. This has been another street corner car spotting. Expect these to be around a lot more often now that I got a phone that isn't just gonna completely melt every time I try to take a video. A little Grand Marquis and a Ford Flex across the street. So yes, thank you for watching. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the Mercury Marauder video. I really enjoyed filming that car. And yeah, have a good day. I gotta go back to work. Thank you for watching.